Hey guys, so you might hear it in my voice, but I got a new microphone. And the one that I was using before was connected to a headset, and that cost me like $70. And I won't lie, it wasn't that good. And my friend who gave me this microphone that I'm using right now said that as well. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'll record a new video with this and see how it goes. So hopefully you guys like it. I think it sounds pretty good. I mean, any upgrade is better than no upgrade. I'll say that. But on the 13th of July was my birthday. I'm 19 now. It's kind of crazy, When I was a kid, I'd be thinking, oh, I can't wait to be an adult. And then now I'm an adult, kind of just chilling in my room, like reading books occasionally, like playing games, stuff like that. I still don't have another job, which kind of sucks, but, gotta look on the positive. I'm having fun, enjoying my life. I'm doing things that I like, and I'm not miserable working a job that I hate a lot, That's pretty good, I would say. This video is that when it was my birthday, I was like, oh, I'm really craving some pizza. So I searched up a bunch of different places. I saw Little Caesar doing like a Spider Man collab thing. You get like a Spider Man box. And I was like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. I like Spider Man. And then I was like, wait, I haven't had this specific brand of pizza in a long time. I usually get when I'm at hotels, It's called Jet's Pizza, I believe. And I had it. It's pretty good, but holy shit, it's pricey. And I'm a guy who a lot of people would say is cheap. I don't like the word cheap. I would say I'm frugal. I'm very, very to have a lot of intention behind the amount of money I'm spending on something, And usually I don't plan what I get on my birthday, Never really thought of that. But I wanted to say maybe 2 or 3 days before my birthday, I checked out this pizza place and I was like, okay, I'm gonna order this pizza, this one, and I'm gonna see what kind of deals I can get, discounts, can I get them for free, and like I was able to do that, and I spent hours doing that because I was like, I don't want to spend so much money getting some pizza that I haven't had in such a long time. Might not even be good. So I spent a bunch of time doing that, and I use this app, and it's not sponsored or anything like that. I mean, there's no way I'd ever get sponsored. No, I could get lucky enough. But it's an app called Upside, and the thing is that it'll scan like nearby gas stations, restaurants, maybe a couple grocery stores, and it'll tell you, hey, if you go on this app and you press the claim button, you scan like a receipt or you link like your credit card or debit card, get like a percentage of cash back, um, maybe like 18 or 26%. 26% is what I got back from the place that I bought from. The original order would have been like 30 something dollars, and then it was cut down to maybe $27. So I spent like, or saved like maybe $10 or so, which hey, I mean that's pretty good, man. And the thing is, I get a lot of people, probably don't trust this thing, but I swear, man, the second I downloaded this app, I started hearing the ads for Upside so much more. It's kind of annoying. I'm not gonna lie, but genuinely, I'm someone who spend and save money where I can, and usually I won't even lie. The things that bog me down the most and get me super annoyed when it's the end of the month, seeing my credit statement, I'm like, what the fuck? Why I spend so much money on shit that I don't need? It was never like the big purchases, like me buying pizza. That's like $20 or $30. I would consider that a big purchase, especially as someone who doesn't have a job right now. But to be like purchases of like I don't know, candy, cookies, $5, $10 here, $15 here. Those are the things that I resented the most. Those are the purchases that I wish I never did, but I did. So I realized, I need to be more intentional with what I buy because I've been spending so much money. When I first got the job at the dry cleaning place, I had like a very set amount of money that I would use to buy food and stuff like that. It would be like 20%, which would be like maybe $100 or so, because then that money would also be shared with the amount of money I spend like on gas, basically the stuff I need to keep functioning at work and to get to work. So I was very intentional how I used it, but now I'm just spending money left, right, and center. I've been spending like $200, $300, like maybe every month or so. I generally don't even know how 90% of that money is being spent. I don't remember the last 5 purchases I made. It's kind of stupid, And it's wild that I'm doing this shit and I keep doing it. I'm telling myself, hey, I probably shouldn't do that. And, I keep doing it. It's really annoying. I wish I could fix that. And I'm planning to fix that, but this shit takes time, and we'll actually see when I get off my ass and actually fix that. Um, but sorry, I forgot a bit off topic. But yeah, it was my birthday, 19th birthday, and I saw um there was a Publix nearby, and I saw, hey, I have the Publix app, and I can get some free cake out of it. And I went to the place, got the free cake, all that kind of stuff. And I was like, holy shit, dude. I just hustled my way from like, what, $50, $60 worth of food. And I only spent like maybe $20 or $30 in total. I was like, damn, it feels so good being able to save money like that, you know? But yeah, I've never put this much effort into, like, I guess, planning my own birthday. You know, I kind of thought that my birthday didn't matter at this point. You know, I'm just getting older. Nothing's, really happening in my life. Nothing crazy is, occurring, positive or negative. So, kind of just didn't care. But being able to see that I'm actually able to plan for my own birthday and not sit on my ass and be lazy and spout the shit I'm talking about on this channel about me wanting to get better, me learning, a language, me reading books. I haven't done that in weeks. I won't lie to you guys. Because I'm lying to myself saying this shit that I know I'm doing it, that I'm doing better. No, I'm lying to myself and it isn't helping me. I'm digging myself a bigger hole than it already is now. It's not going to help my situation. I genuinely want to become better, but I feel like at this point, I'm starting to break my own trust within myself, A couple weeks ago, I would say, I was like, hey, my screen time is stupid high. It's like 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. It has no reason to be that high because I'd be playing, like, mobile games and stuff like that. And I'm having fun, but I don't have any reason to do that stuff, And I was like, hey, I'm going to limit it to 5 hours a day. I won't lie. I want to say that maybe it lasted 2 days. And then after that, I just kept bypassing it, and I did 10 hours, 10 hours, 10 hours, 8 hours, 11 hours, 12 hours. And I was like, oh my God, I have an addiction to this phone, man. My friend told me, hey, don't put in a limit, just, do it through willpower, but I couldn't do it. And I didn't realize that my phone addiction was this serious, And I just broke the trust that I had within myself. I can't even go out and work out because I just don't want to. And if I try, maybe it'll be good for like a day or two. Then after that, I'm done for it. It's the same thing with reading. It's really fun reading. It's very calming, but I only last like 2 days reading, and then I'll get back on the phone and just like waste my fucking time. And then I'll agonize about me not doing anything. And yeah, I won't get off my ass and go read a book or go play soccer, And I always make excuses that I don't have a car to go to the soccer field or something like that, or like, I don't have a job so I can spend money to buy books, but I'm buying food that I don't need. I'm lucky to have parents that cook for me and have enough food for ourselves to survive. And I have a backyard where I can, do tricks with the soccer ball, but I don't. It's really annoying, and I'm surprised it kind of took me this long to realize that I'm not really getting any better, man. But I'm not trying to make this video negative, but genuinely, it surprised me just how much better I felt on the day of my birthday, and even today, the 15th, the day I'm recording this, that I feel, better, I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders, and it's not because I'm actively, currently learning a new language, reading a book, but it's because I did something that I put honest effort into it. Money came out of my own pocket, and I don't feel regret for it, That's kind of crazy for me, because I'm someone who wants to save every dime and penny wherever I can. If I don't have to spend money for something, I won't, like getting a haircut or something like that. And I'm not saying that my hair is getting like stupid long or looks like greasy as shit. It's something like that, but I'll like push it off maybe like a week or two, just because I want to. But it's like I have to take care of myself physically, mentally, and I haven't been doing that. I'm doing myself a dishonor. And maybe this is what it took and takes for me to get to the level where I can say to myself, hey, I need to do something. I am sitting here, I have classes to do, I push them off until the last day. There are days where I might probably get reprimanded by like the online teacher or some shit about like, I don't know, getting a late assignment, and when it's like, I have the time to do it, but I keep pushing it off so I can do things that aren't, useful to my everyday, things that I just like mindlessly scroll on my phone or watch YouTube videos of like actual slop content of nothing burgers. like dramas or something like that. And I've been doing this for so long that it's been maybe a year since I studied, Spanish. Like, and by studying I mean just trying to intake the media of it, TV shows, anime, stuff like that. And it was super fun. It felt amazing doing that. But now, I don't know. I'm just scared to kind of realize and understand just how bad my level of Spanish is. And it's stupid because I want to become better, but I'm afraid to hear myself or even other people speak Spanish, which is dumb. It's a language that people speak, and I'm scared of it. Why am I scared of it? Because I know deep down that I'm not studying it and that I have the time and I can study it and I can understand it. I know I can, but I am just scared. I'm too lazy to do it. Yeah, I don't want to be like this forever, man. You know, my parents aren't particularly old, but eventually they want to move to, Central America, South America, where they can relax. They don't have to live the expensive life. In the U.S., come here during, when they have to come to the hospital or checkups, something like that, where the technology is better here in the U.S. I had to learn Spanish. There are so many countries that I've gone to where Spanish is the primary language, and I haven't been studying. I haven't even learned how to make a full sentence, or I'm scared to make, or it's even speak anything of it. But why? It's my blood. This is my heritage. I love the food. I like the people. But language is something that I just don't want to understand. Maybe I'm scared to understand the people that are my family. Maybe they talk bad about me. And I'm not saying that they do. But, I'm scared to learn because I'm scared to understand and face that there are people that I care about that might not like me. They might talk bad about me or something like that. I come to terms with people speaking English and doing that. I'm perfectly fine with it, or I just ignore it. It's been a whole second of my life, ignoring my issues, running away from them, and I'm becoming a worse person for that. And that's also probably one of the reasons why I don't go out and, try to chase women or something like that, because I know I have so many flaws that I can fix, and I tell myself to fix them, but I don't. And I can see why, people got annoyed with me when I was younger, and I was so whiny, and they had, my mental deterioration when I was younger, and they didn't, help me. I can see where they're coming from, it's annoying having to hear someone that you know of, maybe you aren't particularly close to them, but they're struggling, and they want to become better, but they aren't doing anything. They react over the smallest things, and maybe they're not gonna head anywhere positive in the future. And that's what I'm feeling for myself now, and it's kind of fucking pitiful that I'm feeling for myself. That I'm not doing good, but I needed a little push, and maybe me putting in the effort for my own birthday, seeing that I can save myself money, put that money into vacation funds or maybe into investments, and that this is the product of my work that I was able to eat, delicious pizza, have cake, and save money. That, I'm getting somewhere, man. I got talents, I got things that I enjoy, and I gotta pursue them. I mean, isn't that what we're told when we're children? If you had dreams, go for them. You want to be a police officer, firefighter, go for it. Why not? What's stopping you? And the only thing stopping me has been myself. And it's only been myself. I blame other people, and sometimes, even today, I blame other people for my shortcomings. But why? Because I'm scared of what I'm becoming and what my future holds for me, man. And I'm just ranting and venting on the internet, and I get whoever's watching this, thank you for watching, but I really am just a mess, dude. And it's fucking depressing that I'm like that, but I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making these videos to hold myself accountable for what I've become, and I've said that so many times on the videos that I've recorded on this channel, that I feel like it's just losing value, It's like, when someone says I love you, my parents, I love them too. I love them a lot. But at some point, the word I love you, the phrase I love you just loses its value, you know? It used to mean so much, it, get me happy, it would make my day. And now it just feels like a fleeting thought, like it doesn't, well, it matters to me, but not as much as it used to when I was younger, you know? So I guess having that sort of scarcity that I was able to get myself something and make myself happy and show that I'm making progress in life, that I'm understanding, finance, that, maybe it's good that I'm doing this. Maybe everything is just falling into the hands of, I don't know, some higher being, and that this is fine for me. And I don't know. I don't even know if I want to accept that or not. I know this video is just insanely, the original post was going to be about, what I think millionaires, or how I think millionaires think, how do they save money? How do they pay less in taxes? How do they make their life so much easier and pay less taxes than like the bottom 30% of people, the middle class, and what kind of shit they go through to make themselves, you know, rich, what they do. And, I want to believe that maybe I'll become rich, maybe I'll become a millionaire, you know. I think that would be really nice, being able to just have that financial security that I can chill with my family and be happy and pursue the things that I want to. But, now I'm not rich, but I have time. I don't have a full time career, I don't have a part time, I don't have anything to really work for. I just have college, and that's something I can just put onto the side. It's important, but I still have time for myself. I can build something, I can make a business. I already have a friend, the same friend who gave me this microphone. He has a business. I support him. I hope that guy's doing good and all that kind of stuff. But, I thought to myself, hey, if he can make a business, why can't I? There are people online who make businesses, why can't I do that? And I beat myself over it. But then I realized, why am I beating myself up over this? I'm not them, they're not me. We're going through different shit. They have different drives, they have different motivations. What I realized was that I'm not missing motivation. It's dedication. I'm not dedicated enough. When I started working out, my motivation was that, I didn't go outside, and my grandma told me that I'm lazy, and I was like, okay, I gotta get off my ass and work out. And I started doing that, and I did that for like 3 or 4 years maybe, and then I stopped. It just felt mundane doing the same thing over and over and over, and I was getting stronger. I would say, quite strong back then, like a year ago. But now I'm like a shell of my former self. It's kind of crazy saying that this is the same person who, used to lift like, what was it, 165 pounds for a bench press. And for me, that was an insane amount. I struggled with just like 80 or 70 a couple of years ago. So it's super cool I was able to, get those numbers up. And it felt really good as well. I, had help, and had, yeah, sorry about that. And I had help while I was working out. I had spotters, I had my friend help me, and I think I kind of got used to that. Having that safety net that this guy can help me pick up this weight. That if it, goes down, someone will help me. And I got comfortable with that. And working out, and then my personal life as well. I have people that care about me. They're a safety net, and I think I just got like obsolete, man. I was just coasting through school, and now I'm out of school, and now I have time for myself, and I always did, but I never gave myself the chance to understand what I really wanted. What's the thing that I like, and I regret that a lot. I'm sure I could have gotten a lot farther than I am now, but I can't regret all the things that happened to me. Maybe they happened to me for a reason I can't say. And now I still do have the support and that safety net of people, but I I have a conviction. I want to become better. I want to grow this YouTube channel. I want to be happy with what I'm doing. I want to say, holy shit, I did this by myself. I worked my ass off, and I did everything that I could have ever dreamed of. Like, even if I get to like 100 subscribers, that'll be the peak of my life or something, man. But yeah, this video was just insane, yap. completely off topic from when I started this video out to be, and if you even got like a portion to the video, thank you. If you got to this point, thank you, man. Or miss whoever is watching, thank you. I appreciate it. Seeing the views having gone down to like 10, 20, 30, 50 was amazing, but I just realized that most of my videos aren't doing that good, and I felt really demotivating. Yeah, and I felt really demotivating that, and it kind of sucks seeing that I'm not getting as much views as I used to a couple months ago. Those videos of 200, 100 views, they felt amazing, man. I was ready to post every video. I was excited. I wanted to do more, and now I'm like, what if what if I'm wasting my time? What if this isn't for me? Those thoughts came to my mind, and then I realized, look, the whole reason why I started posting videos is because I want to have fun. And I want to hold myself accountable. I want to do these things. I want to become better. So, let me have fun. Let me post whenever I want. There aren't any expectations for me to post, Maybe some people like what I post, and I appreciate that. But, I don't have any obligation to post for them. I post for myself. I don't want to post, like, shitty videos that I don't like, And there definitely have been a handful of videos that I've posted on this channel that I don't like, They were rushed, they were genuinely dog shit. And some of them were the ones that ended up getting the most views. And it's crazy that they did. And I don't want to do that to you guys, You guys deserve better. And I would hope now is a turning point in my life where I'm like, okay, let's get into gear, let's work on myself, let's actually do something instead of speaking game. And hopefully this video will be the start of that. I can't say that it will be, but I really hope it is, and I want it to be that. But I can't even trust myself at this point, and the trust that I broke with myself is going to take a long, long time, maybe years to repair. And I want to break the cycle of my addictions and lying to myself. I can get better, I want to be better, and I have the resources to do that. So let's get better. I want to become better, and this is what I need. I need a drive, and this is the start of it, I think. And thank you for being here. Thank you for watching this video. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, I'm going to start doing shit now. I'm gonna start posting more, posting the videos that I like, posting the videos that I want to watch. And I hope you'll stick along for this. It's fun, being able to post a video like this, talking whatever the hell I want. You know what? If nobody watches the video, I think I'm okay with that. If this gets 1 view, hell yeah. If it gets 0, hey man, it is what it is. But you know what? I don't give a fuck anymore. I don't care about the views anymore. Because I need to be consistent. I need to be better. I need to show myself that I can show up every single day. Maybe I don't get the results that I want, but you know what? It's just like working out. You get stronger and stronger. You get better and better every single time you do it. And you know what? That's happened to me when I started watching Spanish. Started watching Spanish animation, anime. I loved it, and I got better. And I want to do the same thing with this YouTube channel. I'm going to be consistent, and I hope you'll support me. Thank you for watching.